Hi, everyone. Welcome to Voice of Our Own. I'm Allie. Thanks so much for joining us on tonight's late night snack about making change and keeping intentions alive. These are weekly posts. They're intended to be short and sweet and to talk about life and self-care and parenting. So thank you so much for joining me. Last week we talked about making intentions or making resolutions or creating a vision board. And I wanted to just carry on from that and talk about how we make changes when we want to make positive changes in our life. What happens? Why do we all abandon our resolutions 2 weeks in? And how do we keep those intentions alive? So one of the things that I often think about when it comes to making positive changes is that I want change to be like a light switch. I want when I want something positive to happen in my life, I just want it to be like a light switch. All I need to do is do the work to find the light switch, to flip it on, and then once it's on, it stays on forever until I want it to turn off. And I would love for change to be like that, but I've never found it to actually work that way. It's kind of like, I have a goal, I have a resolution. I am going to lose weight by this date. And so you do all the work that needs to be done and you hit your goal. And maybe that's bing, the light switch turned on and you're like, my work here is done. Great. I'm ready for the day. I'm ready for the rest of my life because now I know how to lose weight. But it doesn't work that way, right? And people will say, oh, it's a process, it's a journey. And I know for me, sometimes when I hear that, I'm like, oh, but I want it to be a light switch. But here's the thing that I think about. I heard this metaphor, this analogy, and I so resonated with it. Change is more like a labyrinth. And I don't know if any of you know what a labyrinth is. Oh, hi, Kim. Yay. Joining me from Oregon. So change is more like a labyrinth. Have you seen these? Have you seen something like this? I know in downtown Seattle, they have this painted on the ground. And what it is you walk in and you follow the path until it eventually spits you out, kind of in the same place or near the same place. Oh, yay. Kim waved. I waved back. And there's a really cool labyrinth that I had the opportunity to walk in San Francisco. There's the Golden Gate Bridge right there. I walked this. It's at Land's End for all the Bay Area folks out there. I walked this on summer solstice with Emma Thompson. Kim, you know who that is. And it was incredible. And change is like walking a labyrinth. Because what ends up happening is you really want to get to, I'll show you on this one because it's easier. You want to get to the middle, or you want to eventually leave the labyrinth. And it seems so simple, right? You just walk, you just do one foot in front of the other. But what ends up happening is that as soon as you get close to it, you're like, yay, I'm getting close to the middle. Next thing you know, you're like way out here and going like, I am never going to get there. And I think that's what making positive change feels like, is that sometimes you get really close and you're like, yes, I'm so close. And then other times you've swung out and you're like, where am I? When am I ever going to get there? And so I think it's important just to know that that's part of the change process. And it's true. It's a process. So change is like a labyrinth, not a light switch. And that's one of the mantras I use to support me when I do make my vision boards, or I set a resolution, or I have a goal for myself. Some things you can check the box with, but for many things, you get close to it and then you swing out, and then you get close to it and then you swing out. And that's just the natural rhythms of things. And I don't know if any of you were inspired to create a vision board, and if you were, wonderful, and if not, wonderful. Uh, but one of the great things about a vision board is that, like I said last week, it's a physical reminder, it's a visual reminder. And that's one way we help keep our intentions alive, is by having things in our physical environment that remind us of this change we want to make. So when we're way out on the labyrinth and we don't know how we're ever going to find our way back to the thing that we want to accomplish or do, it helps keep us reminded and keep us walking on that path, because we'll get there eventually. We just have to keep moving forward. So let me share with you, and again, I'm sorry, it's going to be backwards, but my word on my vision board is presence. Because I know when I am present to myself, when I'm present to the sensations coming through my body, when I'm present to the emotions that come through my body, everything else seems to fall in line. So presence is one of those big things, right? You don't check the box with that. It's not the light switch. You're not going to just, and I'm present all the time, magically. It's a process where you get close to it and then you go away, and you get close and you go away. And so things that I have done to support myself in things like staying present, or whatever commitment that you might have this to bring more joy or to bring more gratitude, things like that, it's helpful to have some reminders. So I'm actually holding in my hand a little rock. It helps me stay literally grounded. Whoops, as I drop it. It helps me stay literally grounded, right? It's something that I can hold in my hand. I can take it with me. I can keep it in my pocket. I can take it in whatever situation that I need to have it in. I've got it. And my office, I have a few things, because I can really dive into work and forget about other things. And so I have this little plate, and again, it's backwards, but it says breathe, because sometimes I need reminders to breathe. I have another thing in my office. Somebody gifted me this. It's a picture of, I don't know, I think it's like an African wood carving, from Zaire. And what it is somebody with their hands, because they can hold so much. And somebody gifted me this saying, you hold so much. And so this reminds me that that I can, that my hands are big enough to hold what needs to be held. So these are some physical things. In the life coaching world, we call them anchors, things to keep us anchored, things to keep us grounded, things to keep us in our higher self, to keep us focused on our intentions. Another thing, bracelets, jewelry. Some people wear necklaces or bracelets, things that you can have with you, so that if you're not standing in front of your vision board at home, you can always have them and be present to them. Oh, Sarah, hi. So I was wondering, do you have any anchors? Anything that you have to help you be reminded of your intentions or your goals, or just your ways of being? And I'll see if I can watch things on the phone as they come up. And if you don't, I would just encourage you to create them. They can be really easy as a rock. And you can maybe even, I've gone out shopping for bracelets to help me stay grounded and stay connected. So it could even be a little fun shopping spree. Oh, gems in my pocket, says Sarah. Yes, those can be so powerful. And I think for some people who know a lot about stones and crystals and gems, each stone can carry a different healing or a different meaning, and those can be really powerful to have on hand. The other thing that I wanted to say, if you do a vision board, I'll hold mine up again, is to think about where you want this to live in your house, where you want it to be. because you want it to be in a place where it keeps it fresh, it keeps it alive, and it doesn't just blend into the background. So if you do go the route and create a little vision intention for yourself for 2018, then it's not just about creating this, but also thinking about, where am I going to put this? Where's going to be a place that it resonates the most with me? And you might start out one place and then realize it's totally blended in. You walk by it every day and you never even notice it. And so you might need to change the location. So just play around with it. Well, that's my short little late night snack. I just want to keep this brief because I know we are all tired and working and moms, and I hope this was useful to you. And if you have any questions or any follow-up, please leave it in the comments and I'll respond. And I wish you a full night of completely uninterrupted sleep. That is my hope today, tonight, and always. Thank you so much. Have a great night. I'll see you later.